Howdy, howdy. It's Dr. Shoots. Hi. Oh, excuse me. Wait, what? I apologize for that, guys. I just had something to tell y'all. I've just found out. So, I apologize for the weather. It's a bit rainy, but I couldn't wait. I had to let y'all know. I was on Titan, and Sarah was rambling on about something. You know, usually she's always talking. But I heard her say something about Nova Galactic. So I started to tune in and listen and see what she had to say. And she was talking about Nova Galactic a while back ago, before they lost the company.
You picked the wrong fight.
They used to have a fleet of vessels that they had a group that they called the NGTS, Nova Galactic Transport Solutions. And they had a few vessels that she had pictures of, and I was able to contact somebody on Titan about actually getting a couple to show here. And as you can see, this one, it's got a flat top. And this was kind of like...
I'm going to end you.
So if you ever seen semi-trucks and trailers, they have the ability to have like a lowboy or just a flatbed trailer, and you can load whatever you need to and transport them from long distances. And that's kind of the idea here. They created these ships, different ones for different applications. And we'll move on to another one that I have. The third one I don't have here with me. It's long gone. I won't be able to show that one today, but I can show you the other two. Well, I guess let's get to it. So their design, what it was, is that they had this small section up front that can be detached from the rest of the ship, and they're able to reconnect this little, I guess, vessel, the smaller ship, to a different section that's needed for whatever they're trying to do. And from what Sarah was trying to, what she told me was, like, if they had, let's just say a ship that hauls liquid, like chemicals or something, or gas maybe, they would bring in the ship, connect it to be offloaded, detach, and then connect to an already offloaded vessel, and then take off with it to go get it loaded. And so this would just kind of circulate and just keep going, just like how the trucking industry would do. So I don't know, I just thought it was a neat thing. I didn't know that Nova Galactic did this. But let's take a gander at the top of this ship. It's very flat, of course on purpose. And I do have a picture. I have this picture of this ship with one of their Frontier ships resting on top. I'll show that at the end of the video. But as you can see here, for like lightweight cargo, you can tie them down to this rail that runs all the way around the outside edge of the platform. But for any of the heavier duty type of items they wanted to haul on this, they used these connecting points for the halves, and they had some kind of hook that would lock in, and you would tie it off to it. And there's not much lighting on the top of this thing, but we do have a little. As you can see from here and here and off on the sides. It's not too bad, and for larger connections, we have these hook points right here on either side. It's kind of just supposed to be very simple and open for much of anything that you wanted to haul on this. The worst thing you had to worry about was like a re-entry into a planet with any of the items, because when you're off in space it doesn't matter. As long as it's tied down, it'll stay. We can do a quick walk through, I believe. Well, let's go ahead. And you know how truckers, they like their lights. They put lights everywhere. I don't know, it's just one of them things. And back here, I like how they rounded off the bottom. Looks nice. And curves are good. They opted for simple thrusters, jet engines, and it's not bad. Like I said, just a simple ship for hauling. That's all they're worried about. Alright, let's enter.
Might not be Jemison, but this ship is starting to feel like home.
This is the first time you've ever been on it. I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah. Alright. Just kind of get a little small view. Let's come up here.
Hey, Captain. Need help with anything?
No, I'm good. Got a control station, you know, it's closest to the cab. Just thought that would be a good idea. Then off to your right and your left, you have these little Stroud 1x1s that are dedicated to just go straight down to another hab. We will open these doors and come back later after we've adventured further. So they went ahead and opted for a workshop.
Corco,
I'm guessing maybe
that room of yours better be clean next time I go in there.
working on anything that they needed for, I guess,
This ain't my getting around to it tone.
transport when issues come up.
Fine,
So,
okay. I'm going.
On long hauls, they were able to have a living quarters. Alright, let's go to the next side. And this is the rest of their living quarters. You know.
Any day you make it through is a
I hope
victory
I
in
can
my
jump
book.
over this. I can't. Alright, so we are kind of stuck here. Move. Thank you. Now we're standing away from them. Alright, I think we could exit this vessel and pull in the
Now
the
this
other one.
planet, this is more my speed. Oh, I could hike here for a while.
Alright. Here's our next ship. Now this one is a tanker. Sarah said that this ship was built for high pressure hauling. But she said it was also had the ability to haul liquid. So it can go either or, gas or liquid. I thought that was pretty neat that they kind of combined those two things into one. And like the other one, this part in the front right here is detachable. Now in space, when they detach, it doesn't matter if the front end is heavy, because they lock basically the trailer into whoever they're offloading for or loading from, and so that leaves them to be able to detach and float over to the next trailer they want to hook up to and fly off with it. While they're leaving, the trailer will be offloading with the crew that stays behind. Up here, this is the connecting point. So they dock, and inside this hab, they have everything they need with hose connections, hoses, and just, you know, your normal cam lock kind of things. Anyways, we'll take a side view, come over here. So, there's a total of 6 tanks on this ship. You've got 3 smaller ones up front, there's 2 on the side and 1 up top, and there's 3 larger ones in the back. I believe she said this whole unit can haul around 100,000 liquid gallons. That's crazy, because like today the norm is around 7,000 gallons per trailer, and that's maxing it out. So technically that would be overweight, and you actually have to haul a little bit less. I believe average, depending on the weight of the liquid you're hauling, I think it's around 6,800 gallons is the average weight. I mean, average gallons that is not overweight. We'll look around this ship a little bit, get some close-ups. A little known, tip, not really a tip, but some information about me is that I'm a chemical trailer technician. I'm a mechanic, and this is kind of where I got the idea. That's why I painted the tanks white, like high pressure. All of our tanks are white. And so up here we have this. I was thinking like I didn't want to contain all the vapor lines and have them all tucked away inside the ship, so I opted for having piping on the outside, one connecting to one connecting up front to the front tank, and then one connecting to the back tank. And I thought of using these for, like, if you ever overpressurize a tank, they have pop-off valves, and so I kind of had the idea to use these as an idea of pop-off valves. And you're in space, and if it pops off, you know, you probably shouldn't worry about it. I really don't know if that would be a problem or not in real life. Accidentally, like, letting off amine fumes into space. Would that matter or not? So you're able to kind of walk through here. This is kind of neat, being able to walk through the ship a little bit. So I have this kind of midsection. This kind of jumps up to be able to, so I was able to connect the top section of tanks to the whole trailer. And I mean, I could have done that from the sides here if I glitched something into these tanks to connect to this piece, but I chose not to do that, and I thought this looked fine. And then out of this, I've got piping that runs all the way to the back and runs into the habs. kind of give some kind of effect that we've got liquid lines and vapor lines running in and out of the ship. And I have everything that kind of looks like it's being pulled up into the piping, and all the piping is running straight to the front. Where this piping kind of runs down into this hab so they can load and offload the ship through here, through this docker. Well, hello, Sarah. Just kind of teleports up here, don't she? And so the front tanks, they're a little shorter. They're made up of, I believe, 2 tanks. 2 tanks, and the rear are 3 fuel tanks. Give this longer tank look. There we go. Oh. She's quick. She's literally on top of the ship. For some reason, I really like how the pointy front end Nova cab and then these Strouds just kind of round off with each other. And it looks like it's just a tiny little 4-legged ship. It's kind of stuck under this thing. Alright, let's go ahead and go inside. Take a gander.
Was a pleasant change of scenery.
Now, this section of the ship is all identical to the other ship. Little Hoptech tunnel runs on back. And we have our little window. And check out the trailer. I mean, it's a trailer. Alright, let's come up here. Oh, okay, that's right. This is a thick boy. Can't remember which way is front and back. I do believe. I do not remember putting this in. I think accidentally. I think I messed up. I put a oh, I can't even think of the name. A brig up in the very front. Well, I guess we're not we're not offloading or loading any kind of product. We're just gonna keep them hostage. And let me teach you any manners. Oh yeah, I didn't say. So I decided to put the computer core or command. Wow, I can't remember. Sorry guys.
Hey, Captain.
Back here I put
Need
a
help
living
with anything?
quarters. No, this is a captain quarter, isn't it? Yeah, in the far back I put the captain's quarters. And then you drop down to the lower section that the legs are connected to. Yeah, that's right. Open the door. Cool. And I believe these should be living spaces. And I used a 1x3 for the legs. All 3 legs can connect to this. And then this is another one. So one is a all-in-one berth, and the other one's a living quarters. And then this one, I just kind of used this hab as a filler for the very bottom section. It's rounded off. It's a Teo hab, and it's the engineering bay is what this is. And I figured it works. It's next to the engines. It's like mechanical parts. Honestly, here's sometime I'll walk through these engineering bays. It makes me, it feels like I'm walking through a submarine. if anyone watching this video has ever been inside of a submarine, it's usually a little bit more cramped than this, but you have tons and tons of piping and mechanics, valves, and just you're all around you. They had to fit everything they can in such a small space. So it just kind of feels like. One more? Yeah, one more. Sorry, guys. Go ahead and what it looks like from inside. See the docker. Honestly, I think it would be a cool idea to have a docker right on the front of the ship, like playing in-game. Where you can, that would be how you line it up, how you hook up to it. It makes sense. But somehow it could be anywhere on the ship and they're able to line up to it perfectly and hook up to it. So those dang things must have cameras on them somewhere. I don't know. I figured we could go ahead and take it up into space.
Say your last goodbyes.
I plan on adding all 3 ships that I created that kind of mimic this design. I'm going to place them at the end of the video, and you can see how they kind of all look the same. They'll have like this little small section up front with the Nova cab. It almost looks like some kind of futuristic semi truck.
Solomon Co. would have liked me?
Sure.
And so that's kind of
Everybody likes
when
you,
I
don't they?
Do you
built
think
the
he would have
first
liked
one.
you?
It'll be in the
If you
pictures.
listen to your grandpa,
It's kind of
Solomon
like
Co.
a traveling RV or maybe a cargo ship of sorts. And after I created that one, I realized from the side it almost looked like it was a tiny little round truck with a semi-trailer connected to it. It's kind of like what I've seen futuristic like pictures of, I forgot what company it was. They were like envisioning what semi-trucks could look like in the future. And this kind of sort of symbolizes that in a way. Kind of looks like it. Resembles it, I mean, not symbolize. I really do hope y'all enjoy my videos and the random things I create. And I guess this can be the end, and I'll place, like I said, I'll place those 3 pictures. No, it's not 3 pictures, but pictures of those 3 different ships towards the end. And the flatbed, I managed to get a picture of the Frontier setting on the back of it. So I thought that was kind of neat. Alright guys, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all staying all the way till the end, watching my video. I hope y'all have a good one. Goodbye.